But give us it right off the bat. In District 49, what is your number one pressing issue for you?
Number one, it's between homelessness, right? And being able to afford rent and buy a house.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. Those are the two main things. My platform, my vision, right, is get money out of politics, end homelessness with the statewide plan, right, and restore the American dream of homeownership, right? Yeah. It's interesting. Bernie people love getting money out of politics. Immediately they get triggered. Oh, hey, you're trying to do that? Great. Most other people, right, that I knock at their door, apathetic voters, they either hear the homelessness problem and get fired up, and they're like, how are you going to do it?
Yeah.
And I'll tell them about the plan, right? Or restore the American dream of cracking down on foreign investors, right? Building developers, right? Everybody buying up our land, commodifying it, not letting us buy, not giving us the opportunity to buy a house, right? And increasing our rent. That's the kind of stuff that also fires up another group of supporters.
Yeah.
So it's between those two. Those are the two main concerns, but essentially it's just housing.
Yeah.
Really is just housing. That's the big thing in the San Gabriel Valley right now.
Yeah.
And what exactly, though, is your plan on how to tackle that? Because people say, oh, yeah, homelessness is my one issue. But it's such a huge issue, not only in the San Gabriel Valley, but also statewide and even nationally.
Yeah, well, we need a brand new plan. If we keep trying to do the homeless shelters, right? The homeless shelters, sometimes it's a little bit, you have to follow a lot of rules.
Yeah.
I've gone to the encampments. I've talked to the homeless people, even the ones in San Gabriel Valley. A lot of them say, I don't want to go to homeless shelters. We have to check out by 10 a.m. We have to check back in by 5 p.m. We can't be out later than 8 or 10 p.m. If they want to go through our stuff to make sure we don't bring any drugs or paraphernalia in. If you're going to treat me like a little kid, I'll just stay on the streets, right? And if you're an addict, right, the chances of you going out for help, if those resources aren't available, you're just going to stay in that cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is follow the Salt Lake City or the New York City model. Just give them housing first, right? So we're not talking about an apartment. I'm not talking about a house. We're talking about a room, right? Just basic needs. A bed, place to put their things, lock their door for privacy, security. No requirements needed. But then the next step in my plan would have to be job retraining, because a lot of them haven't worked in years.
Yes.
Right? Drug rehabilitation for those that want it and need it, because if they don't want to get clean, they're not going to.
Yeah.
Right? And lastly, give them a job. Whether we have to subsidize their income at an employer, right? We're going to pay $6 of their wage or $5 of their wage for like 6 months or a year, see if they actually can do the job. Hopefully it'll give them that opportunity to make their life better and turn them into taxpayers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's an untapped resource, labor, right?
Yeah.
And there's a ton of them not working.
Exactly. That's really smart, because that, to me, kind of sounds like bridge housing.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing that I've seen. Bridge housing provides mental health care as well. It goes a few steps above a shelter, where you're trying to rehabilitate rather than treat them as children or people unable to take care of themselves, because the whole point is for these people to be put back into the economy. Yeah, working members of productive members of society. So that's a really good point.
But that's not going to stop the influx of homeless people. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to stop the growth of more and more homeless people. What do you do to change that systemically, to stop people from becoming homeless? As a state assemblyman, what can you do to really say, okay, we're going to really nip this in the butt. We're going to get nuanced about this.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so, I mean, I think we got to give the housing, but it has to be in every single city in the state of California.
Yeah.
Right? So every city has to do it, because let's face it, the wealthier areas don't do their part.
No, they don't.
They use their private police, right, for their city. I'm not private as in corporation.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
But for their city. Yeah. And they don't make it illegal to be homeless. They just make it uncomfortable for them to be there. Right? And they push them into our middle class and working class neighborhoods. Yep. Right? That's why we go a couple blocks away, right, to Arcadia. They don't have any homeless people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you go a few blocks south to South El Monte, you'll see a lot of homeless people. Yeah. So we need to crack down on them and make sure every city does their part. So every city has to have designated homeless housing, right?
Yeah.
Not shelters. And then we need to do affordable and low income housing in every city in the state. And we got to say no to foreign investors coming here, buying our houses cash.
And the developers with the gentrification.
The developers as well, right? But in the San Gabriel Valley, we've been seeing it a lot. We see a lot of empty houses. Right? And a lot of these houses were bought cash. I've had over 10 stories now, personal stories from people in the San Gabriel Valley, Rosemead, El Monte, and Alhambra, that they've had either their neighbors or themselves offered, somebody will come knock on their door, tell them how much for the house, and like, it's not for sale, and they'll be like, we'll give you 300,000 more than the selling price. Yeah, cash, but you got to be out in 30 days. Like, this is a normal occurrence, and these are just the ones that said no, right?
Yeah.
What about the ones that said yes? We see their houses get knocked down, and because it's such a big lot, they'll build 3 of those McMansions there, and some of them will just be empty.
Yeah.
So it's a way for them to just hide their money there.
But how do you
launder
crack
it.
down on that? It's money.
I think we need to do protectionist laws in California. Something I've been thinking about. You don't live in the state, you can't buy a house here, right?
Wow.
And that's one, because we need to stop commodifying our properties here.
Yeah.
Right. Another thing could be is you have to live in California for 5 years before you buy a house, right? So this wouldn't prevent undocumented immigrants from being a homeowner here, because a lot of them, right, they come here, they work hard, they try to get that American dream, and then after a couple of years they buy a house. But this is for the, you know, the golden visas that we're seeing, right? A lot of foreign billionaires, $100,000 into any business. You go to the front of the line, you get here, they come to California, San Gabriel Valley in particular, buy the houses cash. So we got to crack down on that. We got to be a little bit more protectionist about our property, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I could agree with that. Maybe just you would have to find a medium to where it doesn't hurt the people who are, you know, here and working hard.
Yeah. I can hear some people
seems,
screaming about that one.
yeah, I could hear.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've been talked with a couple of Republicans because the voter data was messed up, right?
Yeah.
But I was speaking with them, and they loved it, and Democrats loved it, and no party preferences loved it. Everybody says we do need to be protectionist about our neighborhoods.
I do think so.
We don't want these building developers coming here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We don't want these foreign investors coming here. We need to do something to make sure we give opportunities to Californians to become homeowners, right?
Yeah.
Not to give it away to these special interests or to these foreign billionaires with H-1B visas.